And that was part 2 of my Clannad video. In part 2, I'm gonna break it down and give you a synopsis of episodes 1 through 6, and then 7 through, in that order, because it's only 24 episodes. So I'm gonna break it down right now in part 2, episodes 1 through 6, and I have to give you a little background of some of the secondary characters, but whatever. But I'm gonna break down episodes 1 through 6, and then in the end of the video, I'm gonna show you guys certain clips from 1 through 6 that were important and or funny. So here we go.
透き通る夢を見ていた柔らかい永遠風のようなかすかな声が高い空から僕を呼んでいるこのまま飛び立てばどこにだって行ける重ねた手と手の中に小さな未来が見えたら光の中揺らめいた言葉も想いも全部遥かな君まで残さず伝えてきっと
Episode 1 starts off with Tomoya narrating how he hates the town that he lives in and how he doesn't like his home situation. And the episode goes from there to show him walking to school one day, and he sees a girl at the bottom of the hill, and she says "Anpan," and it catches him off guard. And she says, "Do you like this school very much? Because I love this school. I hope I can find many wonderful things." And he responds to this, even though she wasn't speaking to him, he responds to what she says, and they walk to school together. Then the intro cues in, and then the episode shifts to the other world scenario, which, if you haven't seen the show, there's a story of a girl who lives in another world all by herself, and so she builds a robot out of loneliness to combat that. And that's where it shifts. Then it shifts back to Tomoya going over his buddy's house, Sunahara, and Sunahara is then beaten up by every member of the rugby team. And next day they're at school, and Tomoya is being kind of scolded by the class leader, whose name is Ryo Fujibayashi, and she just happens to have a violent twin sister named Kyo, who comes in and throws a dictionary at Tomoya for thinking that she was making fun of her sister. And then from there, they show you finally get to see Tomoya and Nagisa interact with each other. He went to go talk to her when she was eating her lunch, and they just had a brief conversation. And then they noticed a lot of people gathering at a baseball field, and they see Tomoya, who is the new girl at the school, scolding some motorcyclists to get off their property and go back to their own school. And the motorcycle guys want to pick a fight with Tomoya, but little do they know that she has the fucking feet of lightning, and she just kicks them all off their bikes. And Sunahara, who is Tomoya's friend, actually thinks that Tomoya paid those guys to make herself look popular in the school, and he's proven wrong because he's kicked the fuck out. Yeah, Tomoya whoops his ass, which she actually does a lot in the show. This is a recurring gag in the show. She whoops Sunahara's ass a lot throughout the course of the show. And the episode goes from there to show Tomoya convincing Nagisa to join the drama club, and what she tries to do, to be informed that the drama club has been disbanded due to lack of membership. And he encourages her to follow in her dream, and he walks her home, and she says, "I live here," It's a bakery. You can come visit if you want. And he goes over to visit, and hilarity ensues because he meets her mother, who is a terrible baker, but she's an attractive woman. And he meets her father, who is the better of the baker, but he is an eccentric asshole. And Tomoya kind of sees what it's like, to be around a real family. And the episode concludes pretty much there, with Tomoya going back home and seeing his fucked up situation. But that's the end of episode 1, and you can tune in again to see episode 2, which I hope to do in the next couple of minutes. So yeah, that's the end of episode 1, and I will now be playing a funny clip from episode 1. So I hope you enjoy the funny clip.
Hey, Tomoya Okazaki!
Sister, what is it?
Uh-oh.
You have got some nerve picking on my little sister, you flea brain! I'm gonna beat you!
Jeez, will you relax? I was only talking to her.
Boy, this is great! What a blast!
Sunohara, what's all the excitement?
It's a raid, I suppose. Those rough kids from another high school came riding in on their bikes. Hey, what are you doing leaning on my head? Get off of me!
Faked it?
Yeah. There's no way a girl can beat a guy. Who bet you paid them to let you win so you could gain popularity? Or maybe you didn't offer money. Something else, perhaps. Maybe you're the kind of girl who would offer a guy a little bit of her you-know-what.
Delinquent seniors. I think there's Sunohara and Okazaki.
This is your day. I wasn't going to take on and fight any of the students at the school, but it looks like I'll just have to make an exception in your case.
You're so cute bluffing like that. I'll bet your knees are quaking.
I want to make this self-defense. Come at me.
Don't be so sure of yourself. Give it up!
At that moment, I suddenly remembered. In this town, there was once an unbelievably strong girl who was also very beautiful. She went around pounding dumb guys who bothered ordinary citizens. That's what I always heard, at least.
I wish you told me that earlier. He's such a
And don't come back again.
Damn her!
What's wrong? You don't like the bun?
What isn't wrong? I'm gonna have to be really honest. This thing is a total disaster.
What? Isn't it tasty?
There's a problem with the taste, yes, but it's just too hard to eat. It's obvious to me why these travesties haven't sold yet.
You don't like my pastries? My homemade pastries?
Just
So explain to me why they haven't sold!
Hey!
What is it? Worse than anything I can imagine.
You said something you shouldn't have. You should have just said it was delicious and eaten it. Where's your sense of duty and charity? I swear you kids these days, you have no manners at all. Truth is always cruel if you just shove it into her face. How pitiful! People living around here eat her pastries saying they're good. It's an unwritten rule. It's the law. So you have to follow it too. You got that wise guy? I'll beat you to such a pulp they won't be able to recognize you. Huh? Hey kid, you're wearing the exact same uniform as our daughter. You wouldn't by any chance happen to be a friend of Nagisa's.